What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked it out already, just making bad life choices, going over to scoresandodds.com where you got picks from me, team, all the greats. Plus, you get access to our nice little prop shopping tool right here where you can see exactly what we have projected for each individual prop, plus where the best lines are at. And most importantly, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? It's my Discord where I'm throwing in all my picks each and every day. Just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. We got baseball today. We got basketball tomorrow, but we got baseball today. We got a lot of bets, a lot of them from last night, a lot of line movement already, but we'll go ahead and get right on into this. Starting off with Logan Gilbert, under 5.5 strikeouts. I got it plus 105 last night over at Betway. Let's see what the current line is. Minus 105. I'd still take it. That match versus San Diego. San Diego is a tough team, doesn't really strike out a ton, walks a decent amount. Yeah, overall, line's just a bit too high here for a tough matchup. Gilbert has been great so far this season, and I do have him actually to go over on outs. We'll get to that in a minute, but right now the under on strikeouts is still a solid line. Hayden Wesneski, under 4.5 strikeouts, minus 133 over at Caesars. Let's see if that has changed. Minus 165. Yep, I'm staying away from that. Match versus LA, not great. He's just not a great pitcher. So that is what it is. Kaprelian, under 4.5 strikeouts, fairly certain. That one has moved. Kaprelian, minus 158 on the under, staying away from that. He's not good. His underlying numbers are awful, just absolute trash. We're going to pull that up because I also have his under on outs, but Kaprelian has not been good. His underlying numbers show that he's due for some massive negative regression. Gets a match versus Pittsburgh. Look at these numbers this year. 6.57 xFIP, 20% K rate, 12% walk rate, 50% fly ball rate, 43% hard contact rate. I mean, he's gets bailed out a ton by playing in that Oakland ballpark. That is absolutely fantastic for pitchers. But overall, he's not great. I'm guessing the outs number has moved too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Mitch Keller, over 7.5 strikeouts. Keller has been great. He's hit this in 6 in a row. You can still find it at 7. I don't mind the 6.5 at minus 160, but I'd rather go with the over 7.5 plus 115. He's just been outstanding so far this season. Gets a match versus Oakland. Oakland has been a hot garbage. Oakland, probably worst team in the league. 27.4% K rate in their current lineup. Keller strikes out lefties this season more than righties, and he's facing 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. All but one of them are high strikeout guys. Patience is decent in this lineup. It's mostly Noda in there, which Keller really not walking a ton of guys from either side of the plate. Again, looking at his game log, we can just click on him right here. It's not showing his game log. Let's see, is it loading? It's not loading. So yeah, he's had like 8+ in 6 every single game this month, and the beginning of last month too. Had 10+ in multiple of those. Again, great match versus Oakland. Plus odds at over 7.5 in this matchup is just beautiful. Luke Weaver, under 4.5 strikeouts, minus 110 over at Betway. Let's see. I think that one has moved drastically. Minus 140. Still honestly don't hate it, minus 140. Weaver started off lighting teams up in the first matchup here. Where is it? There it is. But since then, he's kind of been underwhelming to say the least. 22.5% K rate. Again, he had 8 strikeouts in his first 2 matchups. That has not continued. He has said the over on this and some, but terrible matchup going up against the Dodgers. Dodgers are one of the highest walk rate teams in the entire league. Low strikeout rate, 19.3% in that lineup, and that's with JD and Muncy in there. This season, going back to the beginning of last season, similar numbers, 10.3% walk rate, 19.2% K rate. They've been fantastic. Weaver going to struggle in this one. I don't know if he makes it 5 innings. I don't think he comes close to 4.5 strikeouts. Gausman, under 18.5 outs recorded, minus 110 on Betway, minus 125 on Caesars. This line has moved in the opposite direction, and I still like it. I get the reasons why. Bullpen is taxed over in Toronto. Manoah only made it, 1.1 innings yesterday, so they had to pitch a lot. Bullpen struggling, but he did pitch 115 in the last outing. This is just a tough matchup versus Houston. Houston, one of the best hitting teams in the league. He's going to have a decent leash, but after 115 pitches in the last outing, he probably is going to sit around the 100 mark, even with the bullpen being taxed. There is no Altuve in the lineup, which definitely hurts my bet. Probably why there's been some line movement. I'd still roll with the under at 19.5. Logan Gilbert over 16.5 outs recorded, minus 125 Betway. Let's see if that's moved. I'm sure it has. Minus 135. I'd still take it at that. Again, he's been a workhorse going over this number at a massive, massive clip this season. Outside the last game, he did in like 7 out of the last 8 or something like that. He's been fantastic going deep into games, even in a tough matchup versus San Diego. San Diego, again, huge walk rate team, decent strikeouts or decently low strikeouts. This number is still too high. I am absolutely rolling with the over in this spot, even at minus 135. Gonsolin under 15.5 outs. Gonsolin, he's been okay this season, but not particularly long leash. Cincinnati, okay matchup. Again, this move to minus 150. I still don't hate it minus 150, but not offering a ton of value. Kaprelian under, what is it, 16.5 outs? Yeah, minus 148. You can still get it minus 155. I'd roll with that. Again, he's been hot garbage. He's been absolutely awful. He's been terrible. I'm rolling with his under. Dinelson Lamet under 4.5 strikeouts, plus 102. I think this is a move to minus 110, maybe minus 120. Lamet, minus 110. Yeah, still like it at that. Pitching over in Coors, Lamet has been struggling heavily with walks. He's been all over the place. Doesn't have working out of the bullpen mostly so far this season. Got to start. Don't expect him to have the longest leash, but yeah, 14% walk rate since the beginning of last year, 16.4% this year. Strikeouts for San Francisco are actually pretty solid. But Lamet he's getting too wild playing in Coors. Coors, one of the best ballparks or the best ballpark in the league to limit strikeouts. Lamet under, rolling with it. Jay Gervin under 3.5 strikeouts, minus 115 over at Caesars. This line, I think, has moved to 2.5 in some spots. Massive movement here. It's still minus 120 over at MGM. All right. I'd hit that. I'd absolutely hit that. Irvin, not a great strikeout rate pitcher. The matchup versus Arizona lineup does not strike out. They are a very low strikeout rate team. 19% this season, 20% since the beginning of last season. Irvin, big walk issues, 13.6% since the beginning of last season. This season, he's also been striking out guys at just a 17.6% clip. Again, tough spot. Arizona's been good. I'm rolling with the under. And if you look at his splits, really struggled versus lefties, 16.2% walk rate, 16.2% K rate. It's never good when they're the same. He's going to be facing 6 of them in this spot. Adam Smith, Marte, Carroll, Rojas, McCarthy, Perdomo. So he's going to struggle. He's going to get blown up in this spot, I think. Got some home runs and a few picks I just made a little bit before the show. But before we get to that, don't forget our sponsor, Shady Rays, fantastic independent sunglass company. Great eyewear, great protection. If you lose or break them, just tell them. We'll send you a new pair. No questions asked. They've donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. And if you don't like your pairs, guess what? 30 days, you can exchange them for a new pair, or you can return them for a free pair. Is that it? Shady Rays offering a great product and exclusive for our listeners. Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year. Go to shadyrays.com and use promo code RotoGrinders for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people. Got some home runs. Sean Murphy to hit a home run. Plus 575 over at Caesars. That line has not moved, I don't believe. You can still get it at 575 over at Caesars. But the weather, 85 degrees, wind blowing out a little bit. Gets a matchup versus Carrasco. Carrasco has been actually being crushed by righties so far this season. 5 home runs and 16 innings pitched, I believe, versus righties so far this season. Look at that, 265 ISO, 40% hard contact, lots of fly balls. Does not strike out or walk guys at all, so balls being put in the air a lot. Overall, Murphy, solid home run hitter, solid numbers versus righties, solid numbers this year, 246 ISO. Fly ball numbers aren't great, but the hard contact numbers are great. And again, Carrasco's given up more than average fly balls. Shohei Ohtani to home run plus 310. Love the matchup here for him. Ohtani, one of the best hitters in the league. We already know this. One of the best power hitters in the league. Gets a matchup versus Wisniewski. He's been crushed by lefties this year. 329 ISO, 58% hard contact, 34.8% fly ball rate. Ohtani leading off. Great power numbers. 310, I know that's low odds, not generally the plus 1,000s I've been getting recently. But this was offering too much value. I had to hit it. Rowdy Tellez the home run plus 625 over at bet 365. Rowdy Tellez, one of the better home run hitters in the league. Gibson, not really a great matchup. Coming up slightly above average ISO, above average hard contact, more of a ground ball pitcher versus lefties. But Tellez puts the ball in the air a lot, 45.5%. Hard contact numbers, great. 38 home runs last season. Already has 12, I believe, this season. Tellez, a lot of pop, should be able to get the over. Walker, over 4.5 strikeouts, plus 100 over at Betfred. Let's see what the line is at this place. It is minus 112 over at FanDuel. Still don't hate it. That Walker, not a great pitcher, but great matchup here going up against Detroit. Detroit, one of the highest K rate teams in the league. Walker again struggles with control. I don't really know why he's in the league anymore, but looking at these numbers, 28.3% since the beginning of last season. Lots of strikeouts in this lineup. I'm playing the matchup here. 4.5 strikeouts, too low. Louis Varland over 4.5 strikeouts, minus 125 over at Betfred. Let's see what it is. Elsewhere, Varland minus 140. I would still take it at minus 140. He's been fantastic this season. He's been really good. Match versus Tampa Bay is a tough one, but it is a solid overall one for strikeouts. Again, 23.4% outside of Diaz and Franco. Those are the only guys that really strike out a little or don't strike out much. 23.2% K rate on the season, just 4.8% walk rate. He's been going deeper into games. Varland, I'm rolling with his over. Schmidt taking the under of outs, 17.5 at minus 105 at Betfred. Under strikeouts, minus 145 at Betfred. Let's check out what those lines are at other places. Minus 175. Ouch. Stay away from that. That must have moved a lot. I don't know if the line just came out or what. Minus 143 at 17.5 outs. Yeah. Yeah, maybe stay away from those. You can check out Betfred. Betfred might still have those lines up, but as of right now, this might be a no-go. Yeah. That's it. That's the show. Go sign up for Scores and Odds. Don't forget to sign up for the Scores and Odds YouTube channel. We're out of here. Love you, kids.